Welcome back, Wavesa, and today I figured we'd take a look at our special Christmas box set. Oh boy, let's figure out what the heck we should do with this thing. So, the special Christmas box set is called the Retaliation Cadre, Tau Empire Battle Force. And it says in the article, Tau battlesuits carry devastating weaponry to myriad battlefields since they rolled from the Earthcast production lines. It's not often that they all group up for an almighty smackdown, but when they do, these retaliation cadres are a formidable force. A Tau Empire commander can strap into either a Cold Star or Enforcer battlesuit, while a Broadside battlesuit, a Ghost Keel battlesuit, and a Riptide battlesuit bring up the rear with awe-inspiring firepower. All you need is a few squads of fire warriors and a Kroot to turn this battle force into a bona fide army. This is all over the place and kind of just depressing to look at. I know we have drones with it, but by all available accounts, 4 models. There are less models in our battle force than the frickin' knights. We are doing something wrong here. That being said, they aren't bad models. I can't think of anyone who couldn't go for another Broadside. I don't know many people who couldn't go for another Riptide. And I don't know anyone who couldn't go for another Ghost Keel, because those guys look sick. And heck, we're allowed to have 6 commanders at this point in time in the game instead of the rule of 2 in Farsight Enclaves, or rather the rule of 1 if you weren't running Farsight. So I do have to say that it doesn't look like a bad buy. It's really going to come down to exactly how much this thing costs. But I am thoroughly disappointed in it. It just doesn't feel terribly unified. Like, everybody else's feels more unified than ours. Like, for example, the Sisters, it's kind of obscure. I doesn't really see these things being put in rhinos. They're weird. Repentia. They don't really seem like they would be in rhinos ever. But they got 2 rhinos and 2 Repentia squads, or 1 Repentia squad. I don't know. I don't really understand their units, but it makes somewhat sense as far as fleshing out a force. And they got the big old suits. The other ones that got gypped, I'd have to say, are probably the Hypergrip, the Necrons. It's kind of mad. So, okay, it's a squad of warriors and then a bunch of Lich Guard. And then you got the Void Dragon, which is a cool centerpiece, and their new Overlord. So, okay, it just feels kind of flavorless. It feels like, all right, these are old models of Lich Guard. Let's get rid of them all. And then throw in the new Warriors, the Void Dragon, and the new Overlord, because we didn't sell as many individual models of him as we were hoping to. So it was a bit disappointing. And honestly, the friggin' Dark Angels, they kicked it out of the park for them. This is probably the best you could have asked for them, with all of their Inner Circle and their Deathwing Knights and the line. This is absolutely phenomenal. Definitely the best deal. And I would say everyone else has it better than us, because all of theirs, I'm not even going to get started on the Knights. They got over about 1,000 points. We barely scratched 500 points. Very disappointing. But all the other factions have characters, and the characters have a unit or multiple units that they can lead. We have a commander in Cold Star Enforcer battlesuit that has nobody to lead. He isn't related to the rest of the guys that we have. It seems just very obscure. We've got 1 backfield objective holder in the Broadside. We've got the Ghost Keel, which is kind of just up in the middle of the board, being blown up, being pesky, very durable. And then we got the Riptide, which is just iconic, so I don't really know how to complain about him at all. And then we have a commander, but they just all don't seem related. There's no... I get they're going for a retaliation cadre, but there's no infantry. It really ties this together. The very least they could have done is swapped out any one of these guys for crisis suits. Like, get rid of the Broadside, give us crisis suits. Heck, get rid of the Riptide, give us crisis suits. It would make sense. The commander would actually have something to lead. It all feels just so discombobulated, not unified. There isn't really a vision I see here. I mean, honestly, the best way to fix this, if I was Games Workshop, I would literally take any one of these models out, put the Storm Surge in, and then give it the battlesuit keyword. Because if we're going to play pretend Imperial Knights, we might as well go the full 9 yards with playing pretend Imperial Knights. Hot take. Probably not really. So I think it's not bad. If you have mostly been doing like small starter sets, like the original Start Collecting box with the Ethereal, the Fire Warriors, and the Crisis Suits, this would be a great addition. If you have the old Combat Patrol, it's an okay addition. You're doubling up on Ghost Skills, that's fine, but you also still have Infantry, which is okay. You finally get a Commander to flesh out your, instead of just having only Infantry guys, but you still don't have Crisis Suits. Crisis Suits are nowhere to be seen. A Broadside's good for holding up the back line, and the Riptide's great for the most new Combat Patrol that they have. It's redundant again. You get another Commander, but you don't have any Crisis Suits for them to lead. Like, Crisis Suits are the most iconic things ever. You want them in value boxes, because they're just so expensive outside of value boxes. And everything else seems to work out fine if you were to buy the second Combat Patrol, but you'd have 2 commanders that don't have any Crisis Suits to lead. I can't get over the fact that there are no Crisis Suits. That's probably the most disappointing part of all of this. It just feels so small. Like, the mass of units that you could have had is just so much less than what it should have been. I mean, I've been looking at the prior boxes for Tau, for a Christmas box set. Like the Star Pulse cadre, we had Crisis Suits and Commander to lead them. We had Fire Warriors, and we had Pathfinders, and there was a Prawn and a Broadside. Like, that feels coherent. That makes sense. Another time, we had the Star Claimer Hunter cadre, where you have a Devilfish, and you got a Strike Team or Breach Team you can build to put in it. You have Crisis Suits and a Commander to lead the Crisis Suits, and then you have Stealth Suits, and they're kind of just naturally off doing their own thing. Like, it makes sense. It feels coherent. This doesn't. It's like we're all battle suits, but no, that just doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel right to me. I just can't square that away. It feels everywhere, and in it trying to be everywhere, it goes absolutely nowhere. Heck, even a while back with the Targeted Reconnaissance cadre, you had a Devilfish, you had Pathfinders to go in it, you had a Commander, you had a Ghost Keel, you had Stealth Suits, and you had a Broadside. Like, that feels well-rounded out. And in looking at it, I don't feel like I'm missing the Crisis Suits that bad in this one, even though you have a Commander that doesn't like Crisis Suits. But the Stealth Suits and Ghost Keel go well together. It makes sense for Reconnaissance because the Cold Star Commander is just speedy fast. You got the Broadside holding up the back lines, and then you got the Devilfish to carry around your Pathfinders. And they're good at their reconnaissance. It feels right. It makes sense. There's a coherentness to it all. But this Retaliation cadre, like, they are never together. The Retaliation cadre was literally made for the Crisis Suits. It's what it feels like to me. It was Farsight getting a second detachment, and we're just, I don't know, we're missing it. It's not right. Something's off. There's got to be one more unit added in here. Like, Stealth Battle Suits would make this feel well better rounded out, because you have a guiding unit in here. These guys just seem all far too distant from one another. I don't know. Anyways, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I don't think it would be a bad deal to get, depending on how the discounts go. I think it would definitely be very good. We're low on points in this box, which is sad. So, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know how to feel about it. It feels like there's just one element missing. If you were to add something into the box that would make it feel more well-rounded and keep the Retaliation cadre feel, what would that be? Because there's got to be something to unite all this. Because right now, it just feels haphazardly thrown together last second. So, yeah, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And if you're going to buy it, or if you're going to get it as a gift for a Tau friend of yours. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and I'd like to thank my patrons. Der Estat, Anu Vivek, Samjer, Ryan Hall, David Polilio, K-Mag, Jonathan Patino, Chris F., Mark, Magnus Thrody, and created by Philip. Gentlemen, thank you all very much for helping support and keep the lights on out here. I am very appreciative, and I hope your day goes for the greater good. God bless you, folks.